Welcome back to the programme. Now, we're always getting questions into the show about how best to care for our pets. Everything from how to prepare your pet for extremely cold weather, which we had recently, to getting them to take their medicine. That's the hard part. Anybody who has a pet, a dog, a cat, will know that's the hard part. Anyway, with that in mind, we have asked dog behaviourist Nanci Creedon to explain some of the tips and secrets she has learned over the past decade working with dogs. And Nanci, you're very welcome.
Thank you for
having me. And you're not alone. Who's with you?
I have Harvey. So Harvey's a lovely little one-year-old rescue dog who is a big eater, so that's why he's with us today.
A big eater?
Yeah, he
must be joking. Look how slim he is.
Harvey.
So where was he rescued from, do you know?
So Harvey was rescued from up the country, but it was his mum was found pregnant with lots of little puppies, so he was born in the rescue and was adopted. So.
And isn't that fantastic?
So he's had a happy ending.
Well, beautiful, and there's such a passive dog, just waiting for us to start this item. And I suppose that's the first item we're going to start with, really, is how do you protect the dogs in weather like this? What do you do with them?
So that's a big issue at the moment, because when the roads are getting gritted or the salt's down, it can damage the dog's paws. So what we want to do simply is get a bit of Vaseline or any kind of petroleum jelly. Before you go on your walks, you want to get a little bit of it and pop it on the dog's paw. So all you're doing is just putting a coat on the dog's paw so that when he does go out, it's going to protect him that little bit. Aim then for walking on grass so it's not as gritted and so on. And then when we go home, we rinse off his paws. And if you've got a dog like Harvey who might get a little bit cold, a coat is brilliant. So throwing a coat on them to keep them a little bit warmer when they go out in the cold will make him enjoy his walk a little bit more.
If I had petroleum jelly on my feet, I'd feel a bit odd. I'd be nearly trying to wipe it off the whole time. Are you telling me that he's going to be happy with the petroleum jelly?
He is going to be sniffing and pottering about, so he's going to enjoy his walk. So it's just going to protect him that little bit more. At the start, if you put it on him, he might be a little bit like distracted, but put it on him just as you're going out the door.
And then he's not going to go slip sliding?
No, he won't go. No, the ground is going to be hard, so he's not going to go slipping. And that's where, again, you're aiming for the grassy areas so that there's not that hard ice that they're walking on.
Well, when you get him back home in the evening?
Rinse it off then.
Rinse it off
then.
Yeah,
rinse it off. Keep it clean. And that way then you'll rinse off any grits or sands that might still be on his paws as well.
OK, now he's eating out of your hand there quite nicely.
He's a good
boy.
But
some dogs, some pets are fussy eaters. I'm a fussy eater myself, I have to admit.
It's a big issue, and even when we were asking viewers for questions, a lot of people were saying that they can't get their dogs to eat. So what we like to do is, instead of giving your dog their big bowl at breakfast time or at dinner time, we start to offer them an empty bowl.
OK.
So once they notice the bowl is empty, you can then pop a teeny tiny bit of their dinner in and let them finish it. So what's going to happen now is Harvey, he's going to start getting used to finishing his food. So instead of fussing around his food and maybe eating a little bit, he's now going to start emptying his bowl. Once he empties his bowl, he'll look up for more, and then he can get a tiny bit more. So you keep doing this basically until his meal is gone, but it means he's starting to learn to empty his bowl, and he's starting to look to us for more food, so he's going to enjoy his meal.
So you only have in this bowl what you're going to give him anyway?
Exactly, yeah. So that will be his breakfast.
So he can keep looking all he wants after he's finished it.
Exactly.
Can I just say to you that they actually look like chocolate buttons?
We have little treats in there with them.
And I thought you weren't supposed to give dogs chocolate.
Doggy chocolate is totally fine. So it's a little treat. Chocolate? So it's special chocolate that doesn't have any of the kind of nasty theobromine that's in the human chocolate that we don't want him to have. So we're just mixing that in a little bit. And you can do that if they're a very fussy eater. You can mix in tiny bits of chicken or tiny bits of something they do like, just to get them prompted to start eating again, get them back in the habit of eating, and then if you want, you can take back away the chicken.
Can I tell you it smells vile?
Well, you don't have to eat it. Don't worry, Derek. You don't have to eat this one.
Thank God. Anyway, some questions for you. So let's start with this one, and it comes from Anne. And she says, we have adopted a 4-year-old Cocker Spaniel in November from the DSPCA. She was rescued from a puppy farm. We also have a 12-year-old Cocker Spaniel whose name is Holly. Luckily, Holly accepted our new dog, whose name is Bo. So she likes Cocker Spaniels. Anyway, she says, when they're alone, Bo seems to go crazy, chewing through dog beds, biting clothes, papers, anything. What can we do?
Okay, so that's quite a common one, especially with dogs that have had a tough background. It may be a little bit more serious. It may be separation-related distress, where he's upset when the owners are gone, and this chewing releases dopamine, which calms them down. It's a calming hormone, so you will find that dogs who are stressed will chew on items. So if it is that, they may need to get help and go and see a behaviourist. But it could just be boredom, and he could be being a little bit cheeky. So if it's boredom, what they can start doing is leaving fun things for him. So things like bits of doggy chocolate inside an empty milk carton, or bits of his breakfast inside an empty egg carton, rope toys that maybe have been mixed with a little bit of chicken juice and stuff. Things that are going to really entice him to chew on the appropriate items, play on the appropriate items, and that way then you'll see that it's just boredom and he's just looking for something to do.
No, it could still be stress. He's just chewing on the right thing.
Which is why the next thing they need to do is set up a hidden camera.
Why?
So we can see then if he's panting, if he's pacing, if he's going to the door, whimpering, looking for his family, then we know it's separation related. If as soon as they leave, he goes and finds something to start playing with, then we know it's boredom. So even getting your laptop open and having maybe a video chat on Skype going, and you can leave the room and spy on them on your phone, just to see what's going on when you leave. And if it's just boredom, give him more appropriate toys and hide the things you don't want him to chew on.
There's a very strange question here from Nicole. When I say strange, it's just I've never heard of this before. But anyway, Nicole says, how do I get my dog to stop reverse sneezing? What is a reverse sneeze?
Reverse sneezing often will happen when there's an allergy or a little blockage in the dog's nose. So it could be something a little bit more serious, so pop to the vet. Other times it can happen behaviourally when the dog's a little bit excited. So if you find that it's when you come home and the dog is running around and starts doing it, calm the dog down, just soothe them, rub them gently. And if they settle down and stop doing it, then we know it's behaviour. If they don't, then it might be a little bit more serious, so pop to the vet.
It could be an allergy or something like that.
Get a video as well. It could be an allergy, it could be something that's on the floors that suddenly this triggering kind of tickles and so on. Anytime you're worried about something your dog's doing behaviourally, get a video of it so that when you get to the vets, you can show them what you're talking about.
Mind you, when you think of all the smell receptors a dog has, millions and millions in its nose, it could be anything.
It could be anything, and they're so sensitive. And I mean, it's a long cavity, especially a dog like this dog. So anything can trigger it, anything can set it off. Get the video going. If the dog doesn't stop when they're calm, then off to the vets.
Now, I notice you have some tablets there. I think I need some myself. I have a little bit of a man flu, you know.
These are just doggy vitamins. They won't be much good to you.
Oh, they're doggy vitamins. My God, they're huge. They're like
they are huge.
Horse tranquilizers. How do I get a skinny little thing like this to take a big tablet like this?
This is one of the things that I love, okay? Dogs don't like taking tablets.
No,
Dogs
they don't.
generally are feeling a little bit sick when they have to take tablets. So what we do is, obviously if it's a big tablet, you're breaking it up a little bit smaller, break it in half. But what we want to do is we want to mix it in with their treats. So what we do is we start offering dogs free treats. So first of all, just asking him to sit. Good boy. Give him a free bit of chicken. We'll ask him to sit again. Harvey, come here. Good boy.
It's a very well-behaved dog.
Good boy. We'll give him another one. And then what we're going to do is this time when we ask him to sit, we're going to give him the treat with the tablet in it and follow it straight away with another bit of chicken. So Harvey, sit. Good boy. And then quickly another bit of chicken. Good boy. And he can then swallow all the tablets, down with the bits of chicken, and he won't even taste it because he's too focused on the next treat as well.
You could do this for a living.
I could give dog tablets. It would keep me busy because it is a common problem that dogs have. But just doing it this way means it's fun. So if your dog's not feeling great, you're not trying to stick it down their throat and so on. You're having a bit of fun with them. They're getting their chicken, which is nice and clean and bland, and they feel better.
You couldn't come and visit my father, could you? But he's 89.
We'll try
anyway,
and
listen, can I ask you, why have you got the marigolds?
Rubber gloves. So obviously anyone who owns a dog knows how frustrating it is when everything's covered in dog hair. So this is one of the little tricks that I've picked up. Rubber gloves are brilliant for getting the dog hair off anything, off fabrics, off carpets, off stairs, off cars, off the dog as well. So just pop it on the rubber glove. Harvey. And all you want to do is, if it's the dog's hair, you're going to put on the glove and just rub the dog with the rubber glove on, and you'll start finding that all the bits of hair is going to start coming off. If it's your stairs, same thing. But these are cheap, they're cheerful, and they'll get the hair off, as opposed to using those kind of sticky things that you want to.
And you're being affectionate with your pet.
Exactly, and it's fun for them, you know, so it's a little bit more enjoyable. But it's such a handy thing to know about because dog hair, especially the little spiky ones, are so annoying when you can't get them off.
Nanci, we could go on and on, lots of questions, and I have lots of questions myself, but thank you very much indeed for coming in. Thank you, Harvey. Bye-bye now, and we'll see you again next time you're in. Okay, if you have any, I suppose you'd call them life hacks for your dog, go to our Facebook page, which is RTE Today. Find Nanci's post and let us know all about them. Now